Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 4 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we do have some breaking news. NBC polls have now dropped on Americans' reactions to the war in Iran. Start out with 753 registered voters were posed with the question, do you think the United States should have or should not have taken military action against Iran? Now, 52% say they should not have taken military action, while 41% say they should have. 7% not sure. The next poll, general feelings towards Iran. Again, mostly negative or neutral, as only 3% of voters polled had very positive feelings about Iran, and only 5% had somewhat positive feelings towards Iran. 28% of those polled had neutral feelings, 21% were somewhat negative, and 40% were very negative. That being said, President Trump's handling of the situation in Iran, 54% disapprove. Now again, this is 1,000 voters that were polled in this question. 41% did approve of the president's handling with the war in Iran. And now a more nuanced question, kind of breaking it up amongst Democrats and Republicans and independents. This is President Trump's handling of the situation in Iran. 8% of Democrats approve, while 90% of Democrats disapprove. Republicans show 79% approval, with 15% disapproving of President Trump's handling of the situation. And independents, again, more on the disapproving side, showing a 61% of those polled, at least independents polled, again, viewed this as a bad thing or disapproved of the president's handling, while 28% approved. So again, those are fresh numbers down from NBC. I'm sure we will have more coming up from those polls later on tonight on Nightly News. You can catch that on WITN at 6:30 after the 6 o'clock news with Dave and Courtney. But now we want to turn our attention to another story gaining traction out of Halifax County, where a former rescue squad specialist is accused of embezzling over $100,000 from the Halifax County Rescue Squad organization. Now, Timothy Pittman was charged today with felony embezzlement of more than $100,000. The 32-year-old was a commander with the Roanoke Valley Rescue Squad, according to its website. Now, warrants say Pittman made personal purchases totaling $127,876 with a card belonging to the rescue squad over an 11-month period. Pittman was released after posting a $250,000 bond and has his first court appearance coming up on Tuesday. And now we want to turn our attention to your weather forecast. Looking at beautiful sunny skies at the moment, but there is certainly some heat in the air. That's something you're not getting when you look out at the view through a camera, but when you actually step outside, you're feeling that warmth. Right now, 75 degrees in New Bern, comes with a southerly breeze at about 11 miles an hour and mostly sunny skies. Does look like we have a thin layer of mid to high level clouds right now trying to stretch its way across the east. Not going to matter all that much. It may keep our air temperatures a touch cooler, or excuse me, a touch warmer overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, but we're still anticipating waking up to air temperatures in the mid-50s. Right now, many inland areas are sitting in the mid to upper 70s. In fact, Kinston on the cusp of reaching 80 degrees today, right now showing up at 77. On the flip side of that coin, we've got 60 degrees in Hatteras. So not everyone, again, is looking at a big warm up from yesterday. Most inland areas are, but those of you along the coast, warm up has been a little bit more tempered. Now, as we head through this evening, air temperatures are going to be dropping down to the low 60s between 9 and 10 p.m. and to the upper 50s by 11 p.m. at midnight. This should lead into the mid 50s by the time we wake up tomorrow morning. Some areas may stay in the upper 50s, but there is that potential we could see some fog early on tomorrow morning, especially in areas where winds are light. That's going to be key. The lighter the breeze, better chance we have of fog forming for tomorrow. Now, tomorrow afternoon, looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies, but I'm anticipating conditions similar to today. Those mostly cloudy conditions coming from thin mid to high level clouds. So still, again, going to be a warm and toasty day. Zooming the picture out a little bit further, we can see areas around eastern North Carolina, and well, really areas around the southeastern United States. Currently looking at mostly sunny skies, but those of you from Texas into Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Northern Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, and New Jersey, all seeing fairly consistent cloud cover. And those clouds come with some raindrops as well, thanks to that frontal boundary kind of hanging out around those areas. Now, so long as that boundary stays up to our north, we are going to be experiencing warmer than average temperatures. And we're talking about 20 degrees warmer than average. This isn't like a couple degrees above the 60-degree mark. No, we are approaching the 80s as we head through the rest of this week, and it's not looking like it's going to be changing anytime soon, at least in terms of your temperature profile. We will see air temps come down a touch on Sunday, dropping about 5 degrees from Saturday into Sunday, thanks to increasing chances of rain showers and clouds, but still seeing a southwesterly wind keep those air temperatures relatively elevated compared to where they should be this time of year. Again, normal's right around the 60-degree mark. We're going to be 20 degrees above that on Friday, Saturday as well. Well, maybe 25 degrees above that by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday. But even Sunday and Monday showing mid to upper 70s, still going to be quite warm. And the good news is we are looking again at rain showers coming through, but the threat of severe weather not that elevated at this time. Now, if we do see that cold front actually sweeping through the east, that will change our forecast on that severe weather front. But for right now, things again are just looking wet, maybe a little bit stormy. Could hear some rumbles of thunder, but probably not going to be seeing the strong wind gusts that go along with those thunderstorms. So good news in that regard. For now, that's all we have time for today's 4 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back coming up tomorrow morning at 7:10 a.m. with Jim and Gigi. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday.